Right now, it appears Russian hackers have stolen the medical records of Olympic athletes, including American gold medalist Simone Biles, as well as Venus Williams, the tennis star, releasing the results of their drug tests. The group calls itself SAR Team and hacked into the World Anti-Doping Agency's database to get those records. It is also promising to release more of them soon. Let's talk about the implications here with Jim Gray, a sportscaster and Fox News contributor. A little bit of background. First of all, people might remember that the World Anti-Doping Agency had suggested the entire Russian team be banned from the Rio Olympics because of doping concerns. As it turned out, only most of the membership of the track team was banned. But this looks like a little bit of payback from the Russians.
Well, it is retaliation for the systematic state-sponsored doping of Russian athletes that was proven and has come out since the Sochi Olympics. The Russians do like to retaliate. You can go all the way back to 1980 when President Carter, and what was probably the worst decision ever made by an American president regarding sports and athletics, decided not to send our Olympians over to Moscow to participate in the games because of the invasion of Afghanistan. And then, of course, 4 years later, the entire Eastern Bloc, including the Soviet athletes, did not come to Los Angeles. So this is a retaliation. It's probably for their own audience to say, look, there are others who are using drugs as well. It's not just the Russians. However, the IOC has said that the drugs that these people are using are for therapeutic reasons, and the medicines are used because they have been approved. And so it's probably for their own audience, but it's not going to work because these athletes have been cleared. It's despicable.
Simone Biles, for instance, showed a lot of class during the Rio Olympics, and I think she shows a lot of class in this instance. She sent out a tweet saying, yeah, I have attention deficit disorder, and I've taken drugs for it, and the drugs have been approved by the World Anti-Doping Agency, and, you know, thanks for letting me clear the air here. She, I think, did a really good job in handling what was intended to be an international embarrassment.
Well, yes, and it's also a personal, you know, the fact that she handles it well. These are privacy issues. This should never have been exposed. Sure. This is a personal medical issue that has nothing to do with her ability to compete in the Olympics and to compete being very clean. So what the Russians are doing and what this hacking group is doing is really beyond the pale once again, and they want to be welcomed back into the brethren of nations and to be able to compete. This is not a good step. In fact, it's a step even further backwards.
The head of the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, Travis Tygart, issued a statement. He says it's unthinkable that in the Olympic movement, hackers would illegally obtain confidential medical information in an attempt to smear athletes to make it look as if they have done something wrong. The cyberbullying of innocent athletes being engaged in by these hackers is cowardly and despicable. It is time for the entire international community to stand up and condemn this cyber attack on clean sport and athletes' rights. What, if anything, is likely to come from this, Jim? Any predictions?
Well, there should be further sanctions, and there should be further disregard for what the Russians are doing, and it should put them further away from being welcomed back into the community of nations. It shouldn't be acceptable to do this. And by the way, when are some of these folks going to stop putting all of this information online when they know how easy it is to be hacked? I mean, that's an issue that seems to be rather easy. If you know that this is going to come out and you know that you are so susceptible to being hacked, then perhaps we should stop putting all of this stuff online, particularly when there is no damaging evidence, when there is nothing that should be being spread amongst everybody else who has to have this information of anything that's gone wrong. Because when nothing has gone wrong, why put it out there and leave it so somebody else can get into it?
Yeah. Let's see what other shoes drop in this hacking event. Jim Gray, Fox News commentator and sportscaster. Jim, thank you.